Hello children, so let us begin with the virtual session of learning science. So let us begin with the chapter 2 microorganisms, friends and foe. So in this, let us start. What are microbes? Microbes are microorganisms, are tiny organisms which are so small that we cannot see them with an unaided eye. That means with the naked eye. Some microorganisms can be seen with the help of a magnifying glass, such as fungus that grows on bread, while some can only be seen when you use a microscope, such as bacteria and protozoa. You have to write down this in your notebook very neatly. Please take down the definition of microbes. Next, microorganisms are tiny organisms that cannot be seen with naked eyes. Microorganism can be seen only through a microscope. The entire body is made up of only one cell. Next, so here is a compound microscope. With the help of this compound microscope, you can see the unicellular organisms. So this is the compound microscope. Various parts you can see. Now, there are some microorganisms which we are going to discuss here. The bacteria, bacilli, which is magnified under compound microscope. Then you have cocci, it is highly magnified. This is vibrio. This vibrio, again, it's highly magnified. Spirilla, you can see colonies of the microorganisms. What is protozoa? Animal like unicellular organisms. They are animal like but they are unicellular organisms. They live in solitary or colonial. That means they have free existence. They can live individually or they can live in colonies. They are parasitic or symbiotic. So their nature is parasitic, they depend on other for their food, or symbiotic, that means they can have a mutual give and take relationship to survive. So amoeba, you have to draw this diagram very neatly in your notebook children. You see the various parts of amoeba: food vacuole, contractile vacuole, nucleus, food. Then you have pseudopodia, that is false feet to obtain food. When it has to obtain food, it will show the outgrowth. So this is amoeba, unicellular organisms. You have to draw this diagram very neatly. Then paramecium, again unicellular organism. So the shape is shoe shape unicellular organism. Here you can see food vacuole, macronucleus, contractile vacuole, anal pore, micronucleus and mouth pore, and cilia as well. So you have to draw this diagram neatly in your notebook. Then you have Euglena, again a type of algae. So it has, see the structure, you have to draw it in the notebook. You have flagellum, you have stigma, and then you have nucleus, you have chloroplast, nucleus, contractile vacuole. So it has to be drawn neatly in the book. Now we will see fungi. They are non-green plants, that is they lack chlorophyll. They feed on decaying matter. They may be unicellular, yeast or multicellular mold. So here are some pictures of fungi. You can see fungi growing on the bread. You can see white fibers growing on the bread because bread turns stale after some time if you use it after the expiry date. So that becomes stale due to the growth of fungi. Algae, algae, they are group of simple plants. They have pigments which give them color. So and they may be unicellular or multicellular. So here you can see the pictures of green algae. Here you have genus of green algae. You have to draw the diagram of this Chlamydomonas. So the diagram over here, you have to be, it has to be drawn in the notebook very neatly. Now here you see flagellum, vacuole, nucleus, chloroplast, and chloroplast is cup shape, pyrenod, starch grains, you can see cell wall, mitochondria, and you can see iPod, contractile vacuole. So these are the um, various organelles of green algae. Organelles means these, it is made up of constituents of that. So this is a green algae. You have to draw this in your notebook. So, we have the strain of bacteria, that is cocci, bacillus, and spirillum. Fungi, you will have bread mold, penicillium, and aspergillus. Protozoa, you have amoeba, paramecium, plasmodium, which causes malaria. And in algae, you have chlamydomonas and spirogyra. So, these are the various strain of these bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and algae. You have to take down this in your notebook. These are the examples of bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and algae. Disease causing microorganisms in plants. So disease also affects plants. Microorganisms do attack on plants. Here you can see some pictures of plants being attacked by the uh, microorganism, by some kind of bacteria or virus. So microorganisms cause disease in plants like rice, wheat, potato, sugarcane, apple, orange, etc. These diseases reduce crop yield. They can be controlled by using chemicals which kill the microbes. How are viruses different from other microbes? Please take down in your notebook. Viruses are microscopic organisms, but they are different from other microbes because they reproduce only inside the cells of the host organism. So it requires the host organism to survive, which can be a plant, an animal, or a bacterium. So please take down in your book. Here you can see some viruses: HIV, hepatitis B, Ebola virus, adenovirus, influenza, bacteriophage. So these are some viruses, diagrams you can see. Virus, the actual diagram of the virus, it consists of head, that is called as capsule, a tail, a tube-like structure, and below that you have a plate-like structure which has tail, the fibers and plates. So you can see on the left hand side, you can draw that diagram in your notebook. That is, and here on the right hand side you see human immunodeficiency virus, that is HIV. The anatomy of the HIV, you can see the diagram over here, of the virus, how it affects the human. Because of the structure, it can actually bind on the cells. So now medicinal, you can see use of the microorganisms. Antibiotics, medicines that destroy disease causing microbes. Certain bacteria and fungi produce antibiotics. That means they can fight against that specific disease. Penicillin, streptomycin, tetracycline. Preparation of vaccines. How you prepare vaccines are preparation of killed or weakened disease causing microbes. So vaccines are actually the microbes which are being killed or they are being weakened, so that they act as a vaccine. They actually trigger antibodies in the body, in human body, when it is orally taken or injected. So how it works, see the picture over here. The antibody vaccine will trigger the blood cells to give out antibodies, and that antibody will work against pathogens. This is the way it works. It will bind on the surface of the pathogen and it will render weak. So then pathogen will not have a much harmful effect on the body. So vaccine is actually developing immunity in the body. So mechanism of the antibodies, here you can see antibodies are substances produced by the body that fight against and destroy diseases that cause microbes and also protect in from future infection by the same microbe. So it gives you the future use that once you are vaccinated against some disease, then that microbes, that disease will not attack you again. How a vaccine works: when a vaccine is introduced into the body, that is either by swallowing or injecting, the body produces antibodies against this killed or weakened disease causing microbes. So these antibodies remain in the body and protect us from protect our body from future infections by the same microbes. So the vaccines which have developed across the globe, they are as follows: cholera, polio, typhoid, smallpox, hepatitis. So now you have to take down this in your notebook. I hope you are writing, children. So now how it works? The surface of a microorganism is covered with proteins. These proteins, antigens, are what antibodies can bind to. A dead or inactive form of the pathogen is used to prepare the vaccine. The vaccine contains the antigen from the pathogen. So the antibodies are produced by white blood cells. So they are the fighter cells. White WBC, fight against diseases. So they are the fighter cells in your body, and then antibodies bind to the antigen in the vaccine. So this is the mechanism how a vaccine will work in the body. Harmful, here you have microorganisms and us. Some microorganisms are beneficial to us while others are harmful and cause diseases. So we will see now microbial diseases which caused by the different microbes. Virus will cause common cold, influenza or flu. You have to take down this table in your notebook. The serious illness caused by this disease: polio, chickenpox, measles. Bacteria will cause typhoid and tuberculosis. Protozoan will cause dysentery and malaria. So you have to take down this table in your notebook. Now here you can see the human contact can also spread diseases, contagious diseases. So over here, various agents of the carrier discussed. Through air, the mode of transmission is air. You will have tuberculosis, measles, chickenpox, polio. Waterborne diseases: cholera, typhoid, polio, hepatitis A. Now, due to food, you can have cholera. Due to contacts, you can have chickenpox, and due to mosquito, you'll have malaria. So, these are the various diseases and their carrier. You can draw this diagram in your notebook, children. You can draw these circles and you can put all the mode of transmission and put the various disease. Now, uses of the microorganisms and harmful effect of microbes. So, there are uses as well as they are harmful as well. Some are useful, some are harmful. So useful: preparation of curd, bread and cake, production of alcohol, wine and acetic acid, preparation of medicine. So preparation of medicines and vaccines. Then you will have cleaning up the environment and increasing soil fertility. Next you will have harmful one: cause disease in plants, animals and human beings, and spoil food and cause food poisoning. So these are the harmful and the useful microorganisms. You have to write down in your notebook. You have to draw this chart. Next you will see uses of microbes. Milk product. Here you can see lactobacillus help in formation of milk products like cheese and curd. It converts lactose sugar. Um, it converts lactose sugar in milk to lactic acid. In acidic condition, the milk protein case in coagulates to form curd, cottage cheese, lactobacillus and streptococcus. So these are the useful microbes, bacteria. Curd and cheese manufacturers use rennet to speed up the process of formation of curd or cheese by making it more acidic. So these are the useful microbes. Now let us see next. You will have the process of conversion of sugar to acid or alcohol. This process is called fermentation. So please take it down in your notebook. The fermentation process. Alcoholic beverages, wine or beer, will is a fermentation product. So fermentation of grapes and barley result in the formation of alcohol, wine and beer, and carbon dioxide gas is released. Yeast, alcohol and carbon dioxide is actually the yeast is used and alcohol and carbon dioxide is given out. So please write down in your notebook. Next, making toothpaste. Shells of diatoms like algae used to give it gritty texture and that helps in cleaning of teeth. So the xanthan gum from Xanthomonas campestris is used to make toothpaste with a gritty texture that helps to clean teeth. So here we end the session, children. Um, I hope you understood. Uh, Thank you and have a great day.